Well, hey YouTube, let's get into the Siege tournament here. I'm not late at all doing these videos. Round 1, Say Swag Again versus VIP, let's go! Up first, we have Carcano Escher Fuki defense. I went ahead and just brought some tanky monsters, like you do. I figure, Fuki doesn't do as much damage as he used to. I've got wind reduction on both these water monsters, we're going to be just fine. We got a Malite to tank all of the Carcano shots. That should be fine as well. So then the last monster over there is like an Escher. And Escher's like okay, but he like just doesn't quite do enough, you know? That's how I usually feel fighting against him. And especially if I try to like use him myself. This is going to be a shorter video because my guildies did a great job and I didn't use all 10 of my attacks in this siege. I think we did 6, but my game crashed recording one of them. So we only have 5 recordings, I think. But yeah, anyway, we're going to go for Escher because we're not too worried about the other monsters. We don't really want to try and kill a Fuki because we're just going to end up leaving him at low health and he's going to do a bunch of damage to us and it's not going to be happy times. We don't have good damage to kill Fuki. Like, killing Fuki first isn't a bad idea if you have monsters that can kill him. But just kind of like tickling him with water monsters isn't going to do it. So we're just going to let him chill for a bit. Go ahead and deal with him later. We get a nice stun on the Fuki. That makes me happy. So you'll see that I decide that now is the time I want to kill him because we have, 2 rounds worth of damage to put on him. And that should be enough. It is enough. Fuki goes down. And now we just have this lone Carcano who doesn't have much of a chance here. All right, my Vigor missing his defense break, wants to extend the fight a bit. I see. 1 down. Up next, we have the good old Carcano with the Kraken. This one, unlike the one in my last time I fought this defense, this one actually used its second skill, so that's, progress for Kraken lovers everywhere. Didn't accomplish much with it, mostly because my team is immune to defense break, and that's going to be a problem for his team. So I will say that the fight that we did in this siege, but the game crashed on the recording, was this fight. I hit this defense twice with the same offense both times. So just imagine I did this twice because that's what I did. All right, he gets a defense break. His Triana gets a couple good hits in. Pretty low damage Triana though. If this defense is going to have any shot against this offense, that's going to have to be much higher damage, like a crit damage Triana. But if he's not going to be able to get through the Windy Shield on my Lulu while I'm defense broken, then there's just no chance. The defense is just not ruined to counter this offense. So unlucky for this guy because I did notice that the first time I fought it, and then I just did the same thing again. So I don't know if this defense got any wins in the siege, probably because, like, I would have hit it a third time if I could. I don't know if one of my guildies got to it, though. I don't know if it was placed a third time. The fun thing about, like, a tournament siege is a lot of the time you do end up hitting the same defenses multiple times because you're like, well, I won, and I have another copy of the same team, so why don't I just go in with the same runes and artifacts and do the exact same thing I did last time? Because most guilds don't bother changing runes and artifacts in the middle of a tournament battle, although some guilds do. So, never be too safe. Although, the teams that I use are generally safe enough that, like, even if they change their runes and artifacts, it doesn't really change the outcome. Up next, we got Molong Escher Fuki. I'm just going to bring in my standard Tasarian Lulu +1 team that I've been using against Molong and Wind Threat. You'll notice that my Ethna is on Will Runes, which my Ethna was not on Will Runes all season long. It was on like an accuracy set. All of my monsters got, rune upgrades for the tournament, right? So Ethna got a brand new set of runes, much, much better than what she used to have. She's doing... It's at 35,000 damage on her skill 3 with no attack buff. She's tankier, she does more damage, she has a set of will runes, And she probably has more accuracy too. She has good runes as opposed to whatever runes she had, you know, during the regular season. So hopefully things look pretty clean in the tournament. That's what you're looking for. And I just love the Tessari and Lulu Bruiser teams. There's so many defenses that, like, if they have a water threat, Tessarian is great. I haven't seen a team that has a water threat that I don't want to bring Tessarian against, because he's such a good tank that also kills things. Like, you know, Woosas are getting really popular, so Tessarian's gonna be great against Woosas too. This offense, please don't pay attention to it. The only reason I'm using the team you see here is because this is a special tower with the rule that water monsters have 50% reduced HP. And I was like, Molong Wusa is probably not a good team to put in a tower where they have 50% reduced HP, because they're HP scaling monsters. So I can really just kind of bring anything I want to, which is what I ended up doing. I just said, okay, here's some monsters that have runes on them. I'll just use those. Like, I would not count on my Joe Gun to tank these water monsters if it was in a normal tower. So you'll see the Molong Reckless Assault doesn't even do half of my health, because he has 50% reduced base HP, and I probably have more HP than he does. So that's rough, buddy. I think the siege had probably been decided at this point, so it's not like this is a mistake that cost them the siege or anything, but not a great choice for your element special tower. And I think we did a similar thing in one of our sieges where we, like, put a bunch of water monsters in an element, in a water HP reduced tower. The thing about special towers is that special towers are kind of there for when you can hide them in the corner and get free points, and not so much for like actually getting wins on them, because it's usually not that hard to beat the defenses. So here we get our first look at the Chamey Kinky Lulu. We see this one again in the semifinals, actually. This offense that I'm using is kind of like, this is the real offense against kinky teams that I haven't been using during the regular season. While I play around with my Water Succubus and my Grim Reapers, this is the team where it's like, yeah, this, you probably already have these monsters, just put good runes on them and it's gonna do fine. Obviously Lulu, like, you'd think that the Elucia is worse against the Lulu than it is against, like, a Lala, for instance, but it still works. It's still fine. So for rune wise, and I'll probably show runes in, like, a later siege tournament video. They don't really change from here, because I did re-rune everything even for our first match. You have a crit damage Triana, like a bruisery Triana with crit damage and, like, I don't know, plus 600 attack or something. You have a speed HP vigor tick 5, so, like, plus 154 speed, I think is where the speed tick is, something like that. And then Elucia is, like, plus 223 speed minimum. My Elucia has, like, plus 24,000 HP, plus 800 attack, plus 900 defense, and 50 accuracy, plus an additional 15 accuracy from Artifact. So she's got, like, 65 skill 1 accuracy, and then skill 3 doesn't matter, because if you don't already know, Elucia's skill 3 always lands. You will always get the sleep. There's no accuracy and resistance check. It's still possible to glance if you have, like, a glancing debuff, and then you won't get it, but there is no accuracy resistance check on Elucia's skill 3. There's just either they have immunity, or you glance and you miss, or they don't have immunity and you don't glance and it sleeps them, always. So skill 1 accuracy is big on your Elucia. Also, I like additional damage on Elucia. That's the end of that siege. Like I said, I only got 6 attacks in because we won pretty easily. I guess that's, you know, what happens when a really strong guild is in the first round, which hopefully we can, you know, maybe we play a bit more, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Maybe we get top 4 this season and we don't have to fight through the first couple rounds. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will get the rest of the videos up shortly. Bye.